Brother. We love wrestling stuff here. Action figures, shirts, old-ass water bottles, but we operate on a bit of a budget. You see, Senior Siete has a little Siete and her Paw Patrol junk doesn't pay for itself. Also, quick aside, all of these team cartoons only have one girl in them, and the girl's always pink. Why is that? Do better, Paw Patrol. Oh, Liberty and Everest? Alright, you got there. Back on topic. There's a lot of expensive wrestling stuff out there. Is it worth it? I don't know. To some people, The Rock could probably pay off my mortgage with what he spent on one of his fancy jumpsuits. So yeah, we're not knocking what people spend their money on if it puts a smile on their face. Some of the stuff is just wowzers. I'm Senior Siete for 7 Wrestling. Let's take a look at 7 pieces of insanely expensive WWE merchandise. Now, before we get into this, we appreciate your support, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and mandible claw that notification bell. Number 1, Bray the Price. We love replica belts. Period. End of story. They're awesome. I don't think I'm alone. Last time I went to a WWE show, like every third person was carrying something shiny on their shoulder. A couple of people had a belt on each shoulder, which is insane to me. Seems like it'd make it very difficult to eat your nachos. And I know it's early, but here's my patented Senior Siete, you kids don't know how easy you have it rant. When I was a kid, this is all we had to show who was the champion of the Wrestling Federation we ran during our Boy Scout campouts. It's pathetic. The world champion of Lake-O-Mania deserved way better. Look at the kids' belts today. Oh, those are so nice. They have these magnificent replica belts too, and not just for like the current day titles, but pretty much every belt in recent pro wrestling history. Check it out on WWE Shop right now. You can buy a replica of the classic WCW United States title, the Rick Rude and Sting War, or even like wildly specific world titles like the purple strap belt that Sergeant Slaughter won from the Ultimate Warrior and then had to wear it for a bit. Nothing says militant traitor quite like this mauve monstrosity. You've also got belts that were designed for specific wrestlers, and I don't just mean like when John Cena had his own spinner belt or when Steve Austin wore the Smoking Skull belt. I mean like commemorative belts like this one for the New Day, you got Razor Ramon, this one for Bret Hart, this one for The Undertaker. Yeah, it's a look. But the one we're talking about today is the specially designed Universal title that was made for Bray Wyatt's creepiest creation, The Fiend. Wow, I really hate this thing. Why would your belt just be a picture of your face? This thing's kind of fugly. And by that, I of course mean fiendishly ugly. And if you think seeing this mug on a belt is scary, well, wait to see the price tag. The Fiend Bray Wyatt custom handcrafted title was originally listed on WWEshop.com for the bargain basement price of $6,499.99. Yeah, I definitely would have picked the under if this was on The Price is Right. So why is this monstrosity so expensive? Well, the belt was originally designed by horror icon Tom Savini. Tom is a legendary special effects artist, actor, and director known for revolutionizing practical horror effects in films like the original Dawn of the Dead, the original Friday the 13th. His groundbreaking work in gore and makeup artistry has earned him the nickname the Sultan of Splatter, and he's also influenced a generation of horror filmmakers, and these title belts were handcrafted and hand-painted in Tom Savini studios using the same materials as the on-screen original. Okay, I get it. I still wouldn't buy it, but I imagine it would pair nicely with this suggestive pair of shorts. Number 2, It Figures. The Ultimate Warrior remains one of the most controversial figures in professional wrestling history, both for his in-ring career and his personal and professional conduct outside of it. His intensity, distinctive promos, and larger-than-life persona made him a fan favorite in the late 1980s and early 1990s, but his relationships with fellow wrestlers, promoters, and even fans were often tumultuous. Right, young Ryan Gosling? In later years, he became known for making inflammatory public statements, particularly through his blog and during college speaking engagements. His comments on social issues, politics, and even his former colleagues were often seen as extreme or offensive, further alienating him from parts of the wrestling community. But for all of the issues he faced over the years, there is one thing the Warrior always appreciated and used to his benefit, that being the value of the Ultimate Warrior character. In fact, it was so valuable that he legally changed his name to Warrior in 1993, which many saw as an eccentric move meant to retain ownership of the character. When he returned to the WWE in 1996, he negotiated for the WWE to promote several of his outside ventures, including the Warrior comic, that being the same comic book run where the Warrior seemed to have his way with Santa Claus, and Scottsdale, Arizona's Warrior University. Yes, a school where the Ultimate Warrior himself would train you to be a professional wrestler. And honestly, I would pay money to hear Bret Hart's thoughts on the Ultimate Warrior leading a pro wrestling class. So yeah, some of the ideas weren't the best, but credit to the Warrior Man for trying out new things. And also credit the Warrior with coming up with an ingenious way to make a couple extra bucks. In the action figure business, as with most collectible fields, higher prices can be charged for items with limited availability. So, when the Warrior signed with Jakks Pacific to join the Classic Superstars line of action figures, he arranged to have a line of exclusive figures created in very small quantities that he could personally sell on his own website. He'd print up a certificate of authenticity and sold them for several $1,000s a pop on his website. It's kind of genius, and considering the lack of pro wrestlers who secured degrees from Warrior University, it might be his most successful side hustle. Number 3. Yeah, a statue. The world of premium collectibles is insane to me, and again, I'm not knocking people and what they spend their money on. If you got the cash and it puts a little giddy up in your horsey, what's the harm? Now, there's this guy I follow on Instagram named Roberto Bag, and his collection of this stuff is absolutely mind-blowing. Aside from not having the money to snag all this stuff or the space to store it, I just don't have such a diverse array of interests. I mean, look at all of these. They're huge, expensive, premium collectibles. Marvel, DC, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future. I mean, I like these things, but I don't like them that much. Except that, I need that. Somebody please get me that. In full transparency, I don't know much about this dude. I don't know how much he actually owns, what's been given to him, anything really. But I imagine you have to really like The Dark Knight a lot to want a full-size Heath Ledger Joker in your home. My question in all of this is, are there that many people who want a full-size Heath Ledger Joker in their home and are willing to pay that price to keep the business afloat? And there's gotta be, right? But like, the Predator? That many people like the Predator? And like, specific members of the Predator crew? Alright, I guess everyone's got their thing. Good thing they don't make premium WWE figures or I would go broke. Oh no. Oh no. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that one too. Oh, I guess it's a good thing. It's like Hogan, Warrior, Undertaker. I like them and all, but it's not like they're my favorite. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Oh, okay, well, it sold for $295 when they first released it. It's not terrible. I wonder what it goes for now. Damn it. Number 4, top of the card. I touched on this in an earlier video, but it's kind of amazing that Hulk Hogan tells so many easily fact-checked lies. Let's take a look at what we've got. He was almost the bass player for Metallica. He wrestled 400 nights in 1 year because he kept crossing the international date line. Maybe that's how it would work if he crossed the international date line in a DeLorean. Oh hey, I know where you can get one of those. Andre the Giant died a few days after he slammed him at WrestleMania 3. Not only that, but Hogan tore every muscle in his back performing that slam. Elvis Presley was a Hulk Hogan fan, even though Hogan didn't debut until after the King of Rock and Roll had gone to the great big Graceland in the sky. And maybe it's not so weird. I mean, wrestling's got, carny roots. The whole goal was to fool people into thinking it was real, to get them to come see the shows. I guess what gets me is the fact that Hulk Hogan tells so many ridiculous lies when he has so many legitimately amazing truths. We frequently talk about the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, and everyone's lineup is a little different, but there is an argument to be made that Hulk Hogan was the top guy in two of wrestling's biggest boom periods as different characters. 1980s rock and wrestling Hulk Hogan and 1990s Hollywood Hulk Hogan were driving forces behind two of the most prosperous times in wrestling history. That's something! I'm sure the Hulkster owns all kinds of box office records. He packed the Pontiac Silverdome for WrestleMania 3, and yeah, the attendance figure is a source for some debate, but who cares? Why does it make the story better with some BS about Andre dying immediately afterwards, when we have video evidence of the dude surviving for another 4 years? And how about this? In 2023, a 2022 Panini WWE Black Prism 1/1 card of The Rock sold at auction for the brain-bending price of $126,000. When asked about the sale, the People's Champ said, "Much love, $7, electricity, goosebumps, cookie puss, Terramana, Papa Tui, much love." That $126,000 final bid was the highest price ever paid for a professional wrestling trading card ever. That is, until a year later, when a 1982-83 Hulk Hogan Wrestling All-Stars rookie card sold at auction for $132,000. Cha-ching, brother! Now, isn't that something better to brag about? Or would he need to embellish the story by saying that, I don't know, he personally hand-drew each card himself? Number 5. Extreme Failure. The legacy of Vince McMahon is going to be a tricky one, and for the purposes of this video, we're just going to focus on his creative endeavors, not the ones that are going to have him appearing in court. You can't deny that Vince McMahon's nationwide and eventual worldwide expansion of the WWF was a successful one. McMahon's aggressive strategy involved signing top talent from rival promotions, most notably Hulk Hogan, whose charisma and larger-than-life persona made him the perfect face of the company. Vince also invested heavily in television production, securing national syndication deals and pioneering the concept of pay-per-view. And by securing those television deals and launching a successful merchandise empire, expanding globally, he made wrestling a household entertainment phenomena. And creatively, he had some real winners. Hogan's feuds with Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, those were all-time greats. He was the storyteller behind the rise of Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and other top WWE stars. And yes, his worst instincts did make the product tough to watch sometimes. His insistence on questionable humor, his need to punish talent on air for weird slights, and his over-reliance on shock TV segments were low points to his latter-day booking. But to all the people who would tout Vince as some kind of creative genius, there's one little asterisk that he just can't shake. Vince was only ever successful in professional wrestling, and he tried a ton of other things, all of them duds. In 1974, Vince played a key role in promoting Evel Knievel's infamous Snake River Canyon jump, this highly anticipated stunt that ultimately became a financial and reputational disaster. Technical issues with Knievel's SkyCycle X2 led to an anticlimactic failure with the parachute deploying prematurely and the stuntman drifting into the canyon rather than making a clean jump. The event failed to generate the expected revenue, and McMahon, along with other investors, suffered significant financial losses. In 1990, he overestimated the American public's desire to see professional bodybuilding when he launched the World Bodybuilding Federation. The lack of mainstream interest, coupled with steroid controversies and competition from the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness, led to the WBF's demise in 1992. He financed Linda McMahon's attempts to become a senator to the tune of $100 million. And most famously, he tried to launch an alternative professional football league and failed. Twice. The original XFL, a joint venture with NBC, aimed to blend football with the WWE-style entertainment, featuring gimmicky rules, intense camera angles, and sidelight interviews, but poor play quality, over-the-top theatrics, and declining ratings led to its cancellation after just one season. McMahon revived the league in 2020, investing $200 million into Alpha Entertainment, this time with a more traditional approach. However, despite a better reception and an improved on-field product, the COVID-19 pandemic abruptly halted the season, forcing the league into bankruptcy. So, as the ultimate reminder that even billionaire creative geniuses make mistakes, I found this autographed Vince McMahon football on eBay for $1,299. Okay, it's funny. I don't know if it's $1,300 funny. Number 6. Attire auction. I'd argue that some of the most iconic pieces of wrestling memorabilia are official ring-worn gear. Think about it. When you think of Shawn Michaels completing the boyhood dream, you remember those white and gold tights? What would Ric Flair be without his trademark robes? Or who could forget when Rick Rude made Jake Roberts go ballistic with his tights that featured an airbrushed image of Jake's wife Cheryl? Ugh, good times. And yeah, some of those things are very rare, so I'm sure they're worth a pretty penny. A quick perusal of eBay shows a pair of Edge's ring-worn rated R superstar tights that went for nearly $1,000. Oh wait, I'm sorry, he's Cope now, isn't he? Cope. Yeah, I know he's getting a lot of grief over that name, but honestly, Edge is kind of a stupid name too. It's like, what's a badass name? I'm Edge. I'm fierce. I'm Blade. I'm Grit. Oh, Grit, yeah. He did that too. I think of it like this. If you saw Return to the Jedi as a kid, you're probably like, yeah, Ewoks are fierce little space aliens. But if you're an adult, you're thinking Lucas is trying to sell teddy bears. Sorry, we're way off topic. I looked up those Edge tights as a point of comparison. Here you have a popular, legendary performer with cool gear, and you're getting $1,000 for it. So how would that compare to someone like, I don't know, Mandy Rose? She was popular-ish. She's not really a Hall of Fame performer, but she had a decent run in NXT, and the gear she wore during a title match in 2023 was going for the insane price of nearly $30,000. To recap, Cope's gear went for $1,000. Mandy's gear went for nearly 30 times that. Wonder why. Number 7. Shoot your shot. You're all familiar with Cameo, right? You can purchase a short video from your favorite celebrity. It's cheesy, but honestly, it's a great gift idea. My dad was the kind of guy that was nearly impossible to shop for, but he was obsessed with this Canadian soap opera called Heartland. I don't know why. So we got him a little message from the star of that show, and he was giddy. But what's fascinating about the service is how much the stars charge. Like the voice of Pumbaa from The Lion King, Ernie Sabella, only charges like $30. What a bargain. For $50, the Godfather can personally tell you about the difficulties of being a pimp. Sign me up. And for the same price, I can have Ryback tell me about how Vince McMahon's mother's a whore. I'm going to pass on that one. But if you remember, when Cameo first launched, a lot of WWE superstars were using it to make an extra buck or two. Big E in particular was a genius with this form of communication, but since we can't have nice things, this got tabled along with other revenue side hustles like Twitch. However, it seemed like the WWE's issue wasn't with the platform per se, just the fact that they weren't making a cut of it. I'm in the camp that says if you sign a contract, you should honor that contract, but it's crazy that independent contractors can't do things on the side if they aren't using WWE's intellectual property. The WWE would allow their talent back into the Cameo world with WWE-approved videos. But before the crackdown, Alexa Bliss in particular was very popular, with her videos going for an eye-popping $400. And one fan decided that if he was going to spend $400, he may as well get his money's worth, asking Little Miss Bliss out on a date. Identified only as Antonio, Bliss let him down easy, saying that she already had a significant other, and then offered this advice. Just get out there, meet someone, and someone will show you what it means to be loved. Someone will show you that you deserve all the happiness in the world and be treated in the best way possible, and I know that there's someone out there for you. Just gotta keep looking. Just like Dory says, just keep swimming. Oh, yeah, dude, just, be like a cartoon fish. And man, for $400, I'm pretty sure he could have married Tammy Sitch. Well, there's our list. Did we forget any other insanely expensive pieces of WWE merchandise? If so, please leave them in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and rock bottom that notification bell. Until next time, I'm Singer Siete for 7 Wrestling saying bye-bye.